Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those who are here in my office at Temple Beth Am in Los Angeles. Good morning to those who are joining on Zoom. Hello to those who are watching live on Facebook. And hello to anyone who's listening to this at your own pace, at your own time, on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. The way the glare in the room is making me look as if I have no middle of my face, which is too bad because the middle of my face is one of the best thirds of my face that exists. So it's too bad that it's all flooded out, but in a moment your eyes will be closed anyway. So most people listening to this could probably recite parts of Et Hanan by heart. Shema Yisrael, V'ahavta, etc. That's one of the first few syllables that a Jew learns. And then we spend a lifetime, if we even think a lot about it, asking ourselves what do those words even mean? We memorize them, what do they mean? And there's a lot of early midrashic and then ongoing interpretive material about the triplicate of B'chol levavcha, U'v'chol nafshecha, U'v'chol me'odecha. Just translating is hard because words and their connotations change over the centuries. So even if we say, yes, B'chol levavcha means with all of your heart, what did they mean when they say heart? Did they mean the organ? Was it a modern sense of like, oh, you're doing a lot of heart, a lot of gusto? Who knows? Like, we know that they knew that the word lev meant lev, but it's hard to know all the things they could have possibly be. The Holy One could have possibly intended by saying that you should love your God with all of your heart. B'chol nafshecha. What does it mean with all of your nefesh? In kind of modern, conventional Jew speak, nefesh is spirit, right? But most of the times in the Torah, nefesh is flesh. It's a person. Last second. You can't have this right now. Too loud.
Now I can see it.
Sorry, folks. It's distracting me that it's distracting me. Gotta put it farther away. So what does it mean that you're supposed to love God with all of your body, with all of your soul? What did soul mean? And b'chol me'odecha, that's the hardest one. Because ma'od generally isn't a noun. Ma'od is somewhere between a adjective and an adverb, means very. Right? So you have to love the God with all of your very. Right? What could that possibly mean? We could literally spend the next 6 hours breaking down those three phrases, and we wouldn't have certainty or clarity as to what they meant. I want to focus on one midrash dealing with the middle one, B'chol nafshecha. And it's one of the places where the sages connect the word nefesh to our understanding of nefesh, which is something beyond the body. Right? And what does it mean to say that you should love the Lord your God with every nefesh? They connect nefesh to neshima, breath, and neshima is connected to neshama, soul. And the idea is, and I think this is the hardest thing for a human being to do, even for a human being who is primed to be spiritual, to have every breath that you take in and you take out in life be somehow an act of devotion to the Holy One. And the Midrash, I think it was Rabbi Ami, connects it to the verse at the end of Psukei de Zimra, Kol HaNeshama Tahalel Yad, the end of Psalm 150, that every neshama, every breath, or every soul, Tahalel Yad will praise you, God, and neshama is what is neshima. Every time we breathe, we should praise you, God. It's impossible. How many breaths have you taken this morning? What percentage of them were you considering a praise of God? You can get out of it easily and say, well, if I'm alive, my very life is a praise of God. So then, even if I'm not conscious of it, yes, my breath is a praise of God. Or maybe it's an invitation to try to bring some consciousness to breath and say, how am I showing love to the Holy One right now? one doesn't need to resolve your theology for this to be an interesting prompt. You don't have to have all the answers or even many of the answers as to what you even mean by God. Because you know you mean something big and lofty when you say, how is this breath showing love for God? How is this exhalation showing affection for the creator of the universe? We certainly know how it would be if the answer were that it were not. Right? We can all think of breaths that you've taken or words you've expelled that could not possibly be understood as showing bi'ahavta. So what's the inverse of that? And since meditation is a breath practice, it's a consciousness practice, it's to go from the automatic, because we'll breathe even if we don't try to breathe until we don't anymore, to the intentional. This is a layering of that. How can each breath of this meditation be fulfilling the mitzvah? In our tradition, it's the mitzvah, v'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, you shall love the Lord your God. So that in mind, I invite you to close your eyes. Feel yourself in a wonderful descent of your consciousness into your body, and also a descent of your body into the earth. A wonderful heaviness. You might find a tingle. Just a sense of being very awake, and at the same time very tranquil. If you haven't already, place your feet flat on the ground in front of you. Place your hands very intentionally on your legs. They can be palms down so that you are embracing yourself, or palms up, open to the world in this moment. Let your shoulders be released from the trap of their sockets. Even with your eyes closed, let your eyeballs droop, not being held up with any unnecessary strength. Let your jaw open a bit and release that joint. And if you want to focus on nothing else, you can spend these minutes hearing your mind say the following words. Hear it. I know that I am breathing in as you inhale. I know that I am breathing out as you exhale. Just knowing it is part of the way towards refining it. I know that I am breathing in. I know that I am breathing out. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. It is a commandment to show love to Adonai your God, to express that love. B'chol nafshecha. With, through, during every breath. We don't need the commandment in those breaths where we easily express our love for God. We need the commandment during those breaths where it's hard. Hard because we have forgotten to focus on it. hard because we have doubts, hard because we're angry. B'chol nafshecha. But your mind asks the question over and over again during this meditation and beyond. Am I loving God with this breath? How is this moment of breathing a fulfillment of V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha? B'chol nafshecha. This breath and the next one and the next one. we don't spend our whole day in a meditation. And it may be unfair to ask a meditation to influence an entire day. Let's see if you can train your mind right now to come back to this moment a few times today. Not even this week, not this weekend, today. And return to the question, how do I make this breath express love of God? How can I inhale and exhale and fulfill the commandment, V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol nafshecha. To the surface, say the closing meditation prayer 3 times. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, and rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. I say to you all, Shalom, Namaste, Shabbat Shalom, breathe well.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.